Star rating, this thing right here, or it's over here too. It's something that dictates a lot of your life in Football Manager, especially the newer you are to Football Manager, maybe the more reliant you are on the star rating. Well, what if I told you that it's wrong? Particularly when it comes to potential, a lot, no matter what you do. And by the end of this video, I am going to prove it to you. There's some straightforward tests you can do with the in-game editor to demonstrate how insanely off some of the potential ability ratings can be depending on certain circumstances. And this stuff, if you have not seen it before, is probably gonna blow your mind, because however bad you think it is, it's worse. And to do all this, we've started with Bayern Munich, a team that has current ability ratings sometimes over 180. Looking at you, Harry Kane, that's current ability over here on the left side. There are a few things that stand out. We haven't changed anything at Bayern Munich yet. You have Manuel Neuer, who has the same current ability as Kingsley Coman, although his star rating isn't one entire star lower. There's also the fact that Konrad Laimer and Nusser Mazraoui have the same current ability level, but they vary by half a star in actual current ability rating in the stars. Now, the star rating is dependent somewhat on form and obviously the skill level of the member of staff that is appraising the players, but we're in the early stages here. Where we're going to spend most of our time is in the development center, specifically with the Unite teams. Now, it's important to remember something here, that your star ability is relative to your team. This is why I started with Bayern Munich, because there's an incredible range of star ratings when the 5-star potential type player is supposed to be a bona fide world-class player at the best teams in the world. That is a very, very high range where when you start non-league, basically everybody has 5-star potential because they have a chance to be better than everybody on your whole team if they got actual practice and playing time. But not at Bayern Munich. And yet there is still somebody with 5-star potential. Now let's go back to our first team squad. And let's assess the current ability of 4 players that are rated 4 to 5 stars. We have Manuel Neuer, who's of course 162. We already talked about him. Leroy Sané is a 169 in current ability, and Yeshua Kimmich is a 174. Then Harry Kane is a 184, but he is even higher. He is 4.5 stars, which would be the middle of the road in the potential range of Ibrahimovic, who is in the youth academy. There's also a guy named Paul Vonner, who's got 3.5 to 4.5 star potential, a couple of guys with 4-star potential, and so on and so forth. Are you ready for me to blow your mind? Because you might want to put your seatbelt on for this. I've created a custom view that will unveil the potential ability of these players on the far left in the same spot the current ability was rated. Just for visual convenience, I'll stick the potential ability right next to the actual potential stars, and you will immediately see that something is amiss. Not only will you notice that Paul Vonner has a higher potential ability than Ibrahimovic, Lassigna's got a higher potential ability than Ibrahimovic, and even if we go all the way down to this guy, Pulic, right? This guy's got almost the same potential ability in the game, but we don't know it. But your eyes probably haven't found the real crazy one yet. What happens if we come down to Jonah Kusi Asare? This dude has 153 potential ability, 8 higher than Arian Ibrahimovic, who has 5-star potential. This guy has 3-star potential. But look, there's something that could be affecting this, right? Because the person that assigns star ratings is a member of your coaching staff. And what if for some reason the person assigning star ratings at Bayern Munich actually sucks at their job? Well, because we're altering reality, we can change that. We go to staff responsibilities, advice and reports, and we get our player provided reports from Zolt Low. So let's go find Zolt Low. I happen to know he's one of the assistant coaches on the team, and we can just give him the best judging player ability and best judging player potential in the game. Solved everything, right? Not really, honestly, because Jonah Kusiasare is still down here. He's still at 3 stars. Vonner and Ibrahimovic are level. Obviously, it has helped a little bit, but Lechinha is still considered having less potential than Arian Ibrahimovic. And guys with a potential ability range from 129 to 141 are all technically in the same range. Now that to me, of course, actually makes sense because it is a potential ability range. So while this guy's probably a 2.5 star player, this guy could be maybe a 3-star, 3.5 star player for the team. It is a range, but considering this guy's potential ability is just 4 higher, and we are a full star higher with the range, we've still identified some serious outliers. And if you scroll, that will continue. There is an example down here of a player with 120 potential ability, which is, mind you, significantly more than somebody who is rated a full star potential higher, nearly 30 points more on potential ability, who is way lower down here. This is with a perfect person rating the members of the youth academy. At this point, the alarm bells are probably ringing in the back of your head about how you signed so many people based off what you thought their potential ability rating was, or you might have cut somebody from your youth intake who actually ended up having good potential ability. Like, for example, all of these guys have actually better potential ability than a couple of players that you might have kept around. I mean, up here we've got dudes with 92 and 98, and you would have kept those guys and cut everybody else that was going to be better than them. You'd feel like an idiot, right? But this is not just a chaos modifier. I'm going to try and teach you how to navigate it. We'll start with the fact that I actually love this. I love pain. I wish Football Manager had gone to much greater lengths to disclose it could be this freaking random, but I love the idea that Jonah Kusiasare looks like a guy that doesn't have great potential ability, but then lo and behold, he actually has the second best potential ability of anybody in the entire freaking youth academy, right? That's cool. I like having those types of players exist. It's not automatic every time that you see high potential, that player actually has high potential, or that you see low potential and that player actually has low potential. But again, I am a glutton for pain. I want it to be as hard as possible because I've spent thousands and thousands of hours playing this game. But check out this example. Arjan Ibrahimovic is obviously adored by no matter who is assigning the ratings, whether it be one of the worst coaches or a coach that actually happens to have 20 in both. They really like Arjan Ibrahimovic. And a big reason for that is something I'm going to show off for you right now. We're going to change his current ability rating, which is 118. We're going to put it at 80, which is significantly lower, and we'll just stop editing and leave it. And when we go back, Arjan Ibrahimovic's potential ability star rating has dropped by a full star, and we did nothing to his potential ability. And now, the inverse test. Jonah Kusiasare. He has 95 current ability, which is actually not bad. He's 1.5 star current ability, according to the guy that's rating it. But if we take that up a little bit, Jonah Kusiasare is going to jump up. Obviously, he is still a player that is not beloved for whatever reason. It's clearly something in the game where they just say, we're going to put the range on the low side here. But current ability has a lot to do with potential ability in terms of the way that it's rated. Now, the current ability being higher isn't a foolproof way to determine this either, because you have somebody like Javier Fernandez whose current ability is just 88. But then when we back out and look at Javier Fernandez's potential ability, it's 129, which is still way away from Jonah Kusiasare, who was at, 3-star potential ability when his current ability was at 95, which is 7 higher than Javier. And if your head wasn't hurting enough from this conversation, we recently made this video which determined that current ability, while clearly a solid indicator of how good a player is just that, an indicator. Current ability does not guarantee that the player is better, because if you have a ton of attribute points in the right attributes, you can still win the Premier League with players whose current ability in the game is assessed to be less than 100. Obviously, those types of players don't exist a lot in real life. They're like physical freaks with a couple of very important mental and technical attributes, but that does mean that the potential ability rating is also just an indicator of how good that player could become. It is also not entirely exact. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that current ability is tied up into it a little bit, because the closer somebody's current ability is to their potential ability, the more likely they are to be able to reach it. It just does show that you really shouldn't be trusting the potential ability stars all that much. There is one thing you can trust, though: your eyes. The way to survive, taking the pill and realizing how all of this actually works, your third eye opening to be able to see behind the veil here, is to trust your eyes and trust ability. The best ability isn't current ability or potential ability. It's the friggin' attributes that are good. If somebody is young and has good attributes, bad potential ability should not be a huge inhibitor from you wanting to sign them. And the awful truth is, a player like Jonah Kusiasare is showing no real signs that differentiate him from all of the other guys that are in this youth academy that have similar potential ability and current ability ratings. So the only way to pick out somebody like Jonah Kusiasare if they come in through your youth academy is to watch them develop. Look for those upward arrows. If a player has a lot of upward arrows, it's probably a great indication that that potential ability rating may be wrong. So stick with that player and start getting rid of the players that have 5-star potential ability but don't show much of an improvement over a year or two. But if you play multiple years in Football Manager, you like to play longer saves, you like to develop clubs, this will fundamentally change the way that you play the game, for the better. I've known this for the last couple of months, and I really think that it has improved the way that I have approached playing the game on stream. Obviously, if you want to check that out, I stream on Twitch all the time. I'm usually playing Football Manager, and we'll be trying to sign wonder kids and find guys like Jonah Kusiasare. But when looking at young players, look for young players that already have a lot of ability, because no matter what their potential ability is, they should be able to reach it. As long as they don't have a bad personality or media handling style, of course. And if you see players in your youth academy, or maybe if you're really impressive at scouting, you notice that a player is improving rapidly while you are scouting them, then trust it. You've got to trust it. Trust that over these reports that you're getting, because this is the report from a dude that has 2020. Honestly, that's a pretty accurate report for that potential ability. The real issue is somebody with the same potential ability going somewhere between Kim Min-jae and Harry Kane, who both have much higher current ability than that rating. So I don't mean to diss the guy's rating of Jonah Kusiasare, but I suppose I can, because if we put his current ability back, Jonah Kusiasare goes back to being a 2 to 3 star potential guy when he very clearly should be a star above that. Just to show you this isn't just some weird thing specifically on Bayern, I've started up a save with Barcelona as well. We have set the person providing the player ratings with 20 judging player potential ability, and we get a lot of the same results. The 16-year-old with obviously the best potential ability, somebody who has 178, is grouped up with people that have potential ability more than 20 less than them. The person that has the highest rated potential ability by the rating itself has nearly 30 less potential ability rating in the game actually relative to this dude. And there's also somebody at the 2 to 3 star line with 119 potential ability, while there's somebody with 1 to 2 star potential ability that has 137 actual potential ability. So this is a universal thing when you go poking around in really any club's youth academy. Look, get the best staff that you can, but when it comes to their rating on potential ability stars, you can just throw that out the window. At best, it's a very rough guide of what the potential ability of a player is. Like, obviously down here we're going 102 to 120, and up here, you know, we have a few guys with higher potential ability, but it is a very rough guide at best, and there are serious outliers. So like young players with high current ability, high attributes, and if you see somebody with those upward arrows, trust your gut. That might be your hidden gem. Use this knowledge and go forth and conquer and find your wonder kids. I'll see you guys on stream. Oh, also that video I mentioned, it's right here. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can check it out. The physical freaks, they call to you.